Hi, welcome to Sandy Says. Today we will be talking about creativity and recovery. If you could please introduce yourself and your diagnosis.
Hi, my name is Grace, and I was diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder.
How did you get interested in the arts?
Art is something I've always done ever since I was little. I don't remember a time when I, wasn't doing something creative. So I guess that's how it started. It just grew into it.
What kind of schooling do you have in the arts?
I went to college for illustration, so it was a professional program. I went for about 3.5 years, and then I got sick and dropped out.
And how much time do you spend creating your artwork?
It really depends. Sometimes if I'm on a roll or something, it can come out in like 2 hours or so. But if it's a pretty complicated piece, I can take a few days to a week or so because I'm waiting for materials to cure, that kind of thing.
Wow, that sounds pretty intense. That's very interesting. How expensive a hobby is it?
It can get pretty expensive. Especially during school because we were using professional materials and it was a lot of materials. But as a hobby, I try to keep it, affordable, so I don't spend as much.
And describe how creativity helps you in your recovery.
Um, when I'm having bad days, I have a really hard time concentrating. And so working on some intricate things where you have to focus, that really helps a lot. Also just having that set time to do something that makes me feel better, that makes it a lot easier to get better because it gives me something to do during the day.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I myself, I write poetry and I try to play piano or write music. So I definitely can understand how it can make a big difference, in how getting you stimulated and
Mhm.
and helping you in your recovery.
Yeah.
Okay, and what advice would you give to people interested in creating works?
You don't necessarily need to, have formal schooling, or I think the most important thing is the interest and what you get out of it after doing it, and also while you're working on something. If it makes you happy, just do it. It doesn't have to meet any kind of standard. It's really a personal endeavor.
Hi, welcome to Sandy Says. Today
Thank you,
we will be
Sandy.
Hi, thank you for being here.
You're
Today we
welcome.
will,
It's my pleasure.
today we will be talking about creativity and recovery. So if we could start off, could you give your name and your diagnosis?
My name is Rob Ramos, and I'm schizoaffective bipolar type.
And how did you get interested in the arts?
Um, Kind of interesting. I've always been very creative, and when I was a kid, I would draw a lot. I would do some watercolor, paints, and stuff. But I knew that I was artistic. And then when my parents noticed my artistic ability and stuff, so everybody encouraged me to kind of take some classes. So when I was in my 20s, I did some college classes, and then unfortunately, because of circumstances, I wasn't able to go to school anymore. And I kind of stepped away from it. But in 2016, I had a real breakdown with my husband, and he didn't know what to do. And it was kind of weird how he knew I was artistic, and so his idea was, let me take Rob to a Michael's, which is an art store, and let me buy him some canvases and paints and brushes so he could do some therapy. And I started painting again, and it just took off from there. Now I actually have sold a few paintings. I've been in a gallery and had some people do a few write-ups on me. So it's been a pretty cool journey.
Yeah, so that's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So that was my next question. What kind of schooling do you have in the arts?
Well, I don't, like I said, I've had some college classes. As far as like official degree, I don't have yet. that's yet, because I'm trying to get back into school, but I've had, several college courses on art, and that really helped me kind of spark my interest in art. So
And how much time do you spend creating your artworks?
it depends. On good days when I'm managing my illness better than some of the bad days, I'll spend maybe 3 or 4 hours a day just having fun painting. Some days are better than others, but when I'm in the zone and I'm having a good day, I'll just paint away, and it just helps me so much.
And how expensive a hobby is it?
It varies on, well, it doesn't have to be an expensive hobby. There are expensive like products out there, but you don't have to, if you're just wanting to kind of start out and maybe see if you like painting. I encourage people to go to like Walmart. They have paints and canvases and brushes, and they're inexpensive. So now if you want to get it, if you want to start really being real serious about it and selling your artwork or something, there are more expensive products out there you can use, but it's really not expensive to start out. So
Yeah, and on a sidebar, are you familiar with Zentangle?
I am not.
Okay, well, actually, it's kind of the only art I can really do. I'm not much of a painter, but it's kind of interesting. It's like you have like a border, like maybe a picture of an owl,
Okay.
and then you doodle inside different types of shapes and stuff like that. So I've heard people use Zentangle for mindfulness. So I didn't know if you'd ever
Oh,
heard of
wow.
doing that. Yeah.
No, I haven't heard of that.
So describe how creativity helps you in your recovery.
I would say creativity, because my mental illness gets pretty intense sometimes. It gives me creativity gives me that out from dealing with my mind, and it helps me to refocus onto something more positive. And if I can do that if I paint for 3 or 4 hours, I feel so refreshed, and like, just because it's a de-stressor. If you have a lot of anxiety, it can calm your anxiety. And I always encourage people, you don't even have to. I had a friend encourage me. She said, Rob, just do therapy painting where you just paint your emotions. It doesn't have to make sense or look pretty or look, whatever. Creativity has always been something that has helped me kind of escape the negativity that I have experienced through my illness. So I don't know if that makes sense, but
Yeah, that's neat. I've never heard of creativity painting. That's something new for me to
yeah, in
hear.
fact, it's kind of cool. My friend said, Rob, why don't you, and I actually like this idea. Why don't you paint your negative emotions on a canvas and throw it away? And it kind of symbolizes, I'm getting rid of the negativity, you know? Or if you want to paint positive emotions and put that up in your house as a reminder that all the positive that's in your life, that can help too. So there's so much you can do with art. It's amazing.
That is really neat. Yeah, I know when I was in elementary school, we had a great art teacher, and I was able to do like still lifes. And my grandmother used to do a lot of painting. That was a talent she had also. So,
Oh,
that,
wow.
yeah. So that's awesome. Well, what advice would you give to people interested in creating works?
I would say don't be hard on yourself. Just, if you want to start painting, if you've never painted before in your life, then give yourself permission to just have fun with it and not try to be perfect. Or I always say, for me in painting, because I paint a lot of abstract stuff, and I always say abstract, there's no rules in it. You don't have to, and the only rules you have to go by is have fun and see if you like it. I mean, and then from there, if you want to take classes to be more formal and learn some techniques or some things, you can. But I just tell people to just enjoy it and not enjoy it for what it is, a good therapy tool where you can release your emotions on canvas, or you can, I do a lot of gift giving by paintings. If a friend likes my stuff, I'll paint something for them, and that makes me feel really good to give a piece to somebody that they really love. It makes painting has been really therapeutic for me because it's given me a chance to express myself. And then I was surprised because people actually liked that expression. They liked my paintings. So that led me towards like being in a gallery. It led me towards selling a few pieces. It led me towards better self-esteem. So I just tell people to have fun with it and don't judge yourself if it's not perfect or if it's not what you think it should be. Just let yourself express yourself on canvas,
Yeah, that's wonderful advice. I do have another question. How did you get the contacts to be able to exhibit your art?
It's kind of wild. And I said I started in 2016 painting again. In 2017, and what I would do is there's several. You can use Facebook or I don't know what, Snapchat, some of these things where you can post your work. So I was just posting my paintings on Facebook to my friends, and somehow a now friend of mine, she saw my work and she said, "I love your painting." She said, "Would you like to be a part of an art show?" I said, "Sure." Well, then from there, I got the courage to go. We have lots of galleries here where I live, and they have in Galveston what is called Art Walk, which is basically once every 3 months they will open up all the galleries and they'll serve cheese and wine and stuff for the customers to come in and look and see the paintings and all that stuff. So me and my husband went to an art walk, and there was this one gallery that I love, and I talked to the owner, and she said, "Well, bring your work into me and I want to see it, and if I like it, I'll put you up in the gallery." So I brought my stuff to her and she loved it. And next thing I know, I'm in a gallery for a year. So that was a cool experience.
That is very impressive. It's one thing to be able to have the gift of painting. It's another thing to have people who like what you do. That is wonderful.
And I would tell anybody, I mean, and that's another thing is if you're a Facebook user or Snapchat or whatever platform media you use, once you start painting, just don't be afraid to put your stuff on there, and you never know what could happen. You never know. Someone might want you in their gallery, or want you in an art show, or want you to paint them a piece, or it can lead to so many cool things. I guess what I'm saying is have some self-confidence and not be afraid to put your stuff out there.
Well, thank you so much, Rob, for being on this talk today. And
You're
thank you,
welcome.
everybody, for joining us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Sarta One, so you don't miss an episode of Sandy Says. Have a great day. Bye.